Okay, hi. My name is Rob, and as you found my channel, Reset with Rob, which is mainly about retired men settling into a new life here in Thailand. A lot of that involves obviously dating, finding a place to live, food, all kinds of things, all that stuff. And but I have done 2 videos already on my skin treatment project. And I'm going to share this video in some other places on the internet, so you might stumble upon this and not be familiar with me or my channel, which is fine. And so with all that out of the way, I've been working on doing skin treatments now for about 8 months. And I kind of first really heard about it. Somehow I was doing online research, who doesn't? And I found TJ's channel, TJ Tutorials. And I found him to be very informative and very helpful. And then based on that, I bought a mini HIFU 3-in-1. And I bought a village. We're in a rural village. And I should say I'm in the central Isan region, which is a fairly remote, you could think of it that way, area in Thailand. It's nice and quiet here, and I like it that way. Anyways, I found TJ's channel. He was very helpful. I bought a mini HIFU 3-in-1. He now is promoting a newer one that I've ordered, and actually should have that in the next week or two, it sounds like. And then I use a RF, radio frequency RF machine, the Korean one. It looks like a giant, kind of not giant, but a pretty good sized triangle. It's a desktop machine. It's got a little wand that you use. And that's all I've been using. And I'm going to put some a slideshow. This is the intro. I'm going to have a slideshow after this, and you're going to see over the 8 months how my face has changed. And I think you're going to be a little surprised. I'm very surprised. How did I get into this? I ended up with a very rough series of spinal surgeries, and then was unable to work, and all the whole country western sad story and all that. And with all the stress and a fairly rapid 50-pound weight loss that I did not intend to do, and other such stressors, I had always before, and I enjoyed, and who wouldn't, that people would guess my age and guess 10 years younger. And even goading people a bit, no, really guess it, really try and get it right. And they would, maybe get within 7 or 8 years, but virtually nobody ever guessed my actual age. After all that, people were guessing my age is older than I was. And I'd be lying if I said, gee, that was awesome, I loved it, because I really didn't. Never thought I was that much into the looks of any women I was with, and wasn't really super into my looks, other than I've been a lifelong bodybuilder and weightlifter. I'm in pretty good shape, particularly for a 59-year-old guy surviving all that I just told you about. I'm in quite good shape. Anyway, so then what happened? So I really didn't like that. I looked like I'd been beat up. Like I looked haggard and worn out and worn down. So maybe not necessarily being a person really into my looks, and I certainly never considered myself handsome or as an adult or anything like that. So I didn't get any attention from women. I was married throughout most of my adult life, but obviously I'm not now. And I needed a change. I just wasn't happy, and I needed to do something. And so I found TJ's channel, and actually communicated with him a little bit, which shocked the heck out of me. So thank you, TJ. That was very kind of him. And started doing what he was teaching, and it's kind of amazing. I would say I've got a sister who's had a facelift, and I don't know that our results are going to be that much different when this is all done. TJ's transformation took about 2 years, so I'm taking that's probably, I've been planning on a 2-year project. I'm 8 months in, so I'm less than halfway, and I'm definitely have gotten at least half the results, and more results than I would have realistically expected. As you can tell, I'm really quite happy. I could stop here and this would be okay, but I'm just going to keep on doing it. It's actually healthy for your skin. It promotes the collagen and all that, and it's just your skin's healthier. But what's odd And I'll preface this, when you look at the early photos, and I'll narrate them, but you can see my jaw here, which never got any fat here, so this is the same size, but I had a big cheek structure on each side. It looks like a jaw sticking out of like a much bigger, fatter face, which is what it was. And you can see that's mostly gone. Now the left side of my face is fatter than the right, and so I still have a little bit of that left here. On the right, I don't really have any of that. And what happened was, as you'll see, is this whole big fat section shrank from the back towards the front. I ended up with this nice little roll of fat here. It's like, thank you, genetics. You couldn't have shrank the other way, but it had to go this way. Maybe it's gravity, I don't know. But this is starting to absorb and roll in. This was like an abrupt curve, and now it's kind of integrating a bit. I can see where this line eventually could just, like you see like the Hollywood guys have that, and they don't have this, I'll make the frown, the basset hound thing, they don't have that. I used to have a big actual flap of skin there when I did that, and now it's just a faint line. And I got to kind of make the face to do it. So this is great. And on the left side, still got to follow suit. The left side, I'll still do a little HIFU, which loses fat. And then on the right side, I'm doing just RF only now. I've been on HIFU this whole time because my face was so big and so fat from when I was 50 pounds heavier. And I lost the weight. It didn't come off the face. It's like, thank you again, genetics. You couldn't have left it somewhere else. It had to be right on the face, Anyway, so the HIFU has really been taking it off, which is amazing. Now, in all honesty, I've had 3 clinical HIFU treatments. It isn't all home HIFU to do that, but it does appear that the home HIFU was augmenting the clinical. I would say and then a huge neck fat loss, by the way, giant neck. I mean, if you look at the early photos, you're going to be kind of surprised. And I feel like about half the fat loss is from doing it at home, and then half is from the 3 treatments at the clinic. But I could be wrong. But based on the timing of everything and when it came off, it seemed like I was really helping it along quite a bit. It wasn't all just the clinic. And of course, all the skin tightening. I may do some other videos down the road that kind of show more specifically like how the timing of all this worked. I kind of followed TJ's thing, and then you have to kind of learn your own body a little bit. And I'm going to say just on that the HIFU is really the stronger of the two. When early on, it kind of woke up my skin, and plus it gets that fat down. And now I'm transitioning to RF. In the beginning, my face just laughed at it. I do RF, and it was like I just, wasted a half hour of my life. I would get no results from it. Now I do RF and I get results. And all this, I will tell you, you'll do either a HIFU or an RF at home or the clinic, doesn't matter. You'll look, there's an immediate kind of shrinking of the skin, just a reaction to the heat. That has nothing to do with long-term what you're looking for. It's some kind of coincidence, okay? But it does give you a preview of what you'll sort of look like when it's all done. You'll keep about half of that super tight skin for like a day. You'll keep about half of that when your cycle is all done, but then it'll go away, it'll slacken, and your face will look worse than before. And if it's a home treatment, it'll look worse than before for 3 days to maybe like a week or a week and a half. And then it'll start to tighten up, and it'll tighten back up permanently this time to, or lasting for months and months. If you keep doing it every few months, then permanently, to where you'll get about half the results from when it was super tight right after the treatment. And if it's a clinical treatment you did, you'll be super tight for maybe a week, 3 days to maybe 10 days at the most. And then you'll look worse for maybe a month. And then you'll really tighten up. And that's a longer process. That's a longer cycle. And you'll stay tight for a long time with that. So anyway, so now I think that's kind of my outline of it. And I'll go to the slideshow, and we'll have a little fun. It's kind of crazy what I used to look like. By the way, if you're wondering where I just filmed this video, this is a little 1-bedroom apartment unit I'm making for my Thai girlfriend here, help her family get a little income. They had this building just sitting there dilapidated, and things are really cheap in Thailand. For a tiny amount of money, I was able to. It's my social experiment, try to help somebody. All right, back to the skin treatment. Okay, so here's my before picture. You can see I don't look horrible or anything, but you can see clearly a great big cheek on each side, and the left side, of course, comes out more. But I got that big abrupt cheek on the right as well, which, as you see, I don't have anymore. Okay. There's another shot of it there. Maybe shows it a little better, I suppose. Here we have a little improvement. and a little more improvement. And again here in this picture. And in this picture you can still see I got a little bit of a double chin when I talk, but you can see that my face is starting to taper into one actual face. This is about 5 months in. And here is 6 months in, give or take. You can see a little more coming on. Still that left side's a problem, and it still is today. This is about a month ago, so 7 months, and you can see it's starting to really blend in a bit better now. And here you can see where I've got a clear jawline on the right, and I absolutely did not have that before, 100%. And on the left, after a treatment, the left jawline shows, which it never did in my entire life. And here's the main event. Now, I would say that is a drastic transformation. And if this has taken 8 months. If I did that in a week, everybody would swear I had surgery, which obviously you'd need surgery to do that. But the nice thing is, look how natural it is. People that see me all the time have no idea what I've been doing. There is absolutely none of that artificial skin stretched riding a motorcycle without a helmet look that you get with a facelift.
My name is Rob, and thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. I meant every word I just said with respect.